guys, what's up everybody? Welcome back again to another video tutorial from the Apex Predator Videos Club. My name is Apex again, and in today's video we are going to be talking about a particular rock that was posted on Facebook, and these are the positions of the ball, and so we're going to be looking at how we can run this rock out. Based on the position of the table, we don't have ball in hand, the ball is just left in that position, and so we are on strike. And so we're looking at how it is that we can get to this run out. It's not a difficult run out, but it requires a very specific ball or cue ball position. So we're going to be examining the rock, where the balls are, how we can play this rock, what part of the cue ball to play with the top, right, a little bit of English, how we can navigate depending on where the cue ball is. And so let us see if we can get out on this rock, if it is that we get a chance at the table. Our opponent balls are pretty much in lay position. Our opponent has the one ball there that is straight in. He has the three ball line in the corner here, and he has the two ball down here. So pretty much after pocketing his ball, if it is that we don't run this rock out, it should be a very easy out for him. So let's examine this rock and see exactly how it is that we can get out. However, if this is the first time you're on the channel and you're liking the content that I've been posting so far, please be sure to hit that subscribe button right below, like the video of course, and of course share this with your cool communities. There is a lot more content and a lot more knowledge, info that I have to share with you from where this came from. So I'll see you soon. Alright guys, so when we look at this rock here, let's examine a couple of stuff. We have the 11 ball that is straight in. Pretty much we have to be stretching here. Alright, so we're going to be stretching the cue ball in the center of the table. We're going to have to be stretching here. We have to be careful of this 12 ball that is right here, so we don't bump or drop it with our body. Right? We have this 10 ball here on the side. We have the 13 ball all the way up here, and we have this 12 ball all the way down here. So what is my pattern? My pattern is pretty much to cut the 11 ball, right, to that corner and go on this side of 13. The plan is if I can get an angle of some sort on the 13, I should be able to come one rail, two rails, depending on the angle, I may be able to come in for the 10. I would love to get straight in on the 10, so I could draw back for the 12 ball, and then naturally just play the 12 ball off one rails, or depending on the angle, go two rails in for the 8. Now, the 11 ball is going to be moved, so I'm going to have a lot of space and I'm going to have a margin for error. So that is pretty much the plan. Now, what could actually happen is that if I spin the cue ball a bit too much, depending on the angle, I could perhaps maybe just come down here for the 12 and maybe go one rails, two rails, back up for the 10, using the 10 as my key ball to get on to the 8. So I'm going to pretty much try to get an angle on the 10, so I can go in between the 1 here for the 8, or if I get straight in, I can just roll up for the 8 in that corner. So that is pretty much my plan of action. Let's see how we can go about doing this. So of course, I talked to you a lot on the videos about going through your shot routine, ensure that you walk around the table, ensure that you know where the cue ball is going. Alright? Try to avoid using spin where necessary, but avoid using spin where it's not necessary. So it's important that you also try to predict the tangent line when you're playing certain shots. So let's see how this is set up. So we're going to go around here and kind of just chop everything up. This is just pretty much you telling yourself that you're in a situation here. You're on the 11, and you're just going to go here and just kind of look at the 11 ball, alright? And then make sure that you have a correct contact spot. Now what I like to do here in most of my games is that I always like to predict the tangent line. So I can see here from the 11 ball, if I were to play this cue ball with center, right, I should be getting somewhere in, maybe near to the 1 here. If I put a little bit of stun on it, just maybe like a tick or a half tick below, I should be able to come below the 1, and with the speed I should be able to go under 8 here, and not in this position. So let us see if we can do this now. So chop our stick up, go around, right? It's just one shot at a time, guys, and focus, okay? So I'm going to be using a stun. I don't want to use any roll because I might bump into the 1. So let's get this angle correct here. Make sure that you go through your entire shot routine. So I make sure that I don't drop that too far here. Let's double check again. Steady with the shot. Alright, so that's not bad. Alright, I actually predicted that I was actually going to be under the 8, but it seems as if that little bit of draw kind of stunned in between the second rail here, the second diamond and the first diamond, and come in between the 8. I have a nice shot here on the 13. So now, as planned, I would have liked to be right here, but I'm actually right here. This spot here would have been really nice. We would have had a flatter angle. Now I have a steeper angle. Now let's assess what we're going to do here. We'll have to use some spin on this shot. So if we can play some spin here, we should be able to catch the rail and come about here and maybe come into the line. So depending on the speed, if I come a bit hard, I might be able to drop into the 15, or a bit short, maybe depending on the spin, I could fall on the 10. So let's see how we can go doing this. Alright, so same everything guys, same shot routine, chalk your stick up. Alright, I'm just going to play this with, I'm going to play this with a bit of center right. Alright, no top will have me go long and falling on this side of the 15. I want to come inside the angle. Alright, so I'm just going to go around here, play with some center right. Here, alright, we're falling on top of the 15, so that's not the best spot, but we had an alternative plan just in case that didn't work out. We still have a nice angle on the 10 to perhaps drop back down for the 15. So if you can pocket this 10 and come off one rails, right? One rails, it would be nice if you can come one rail, come short, maybe in between here, with the right speed and come into the line of the 15, then we should be out. Alright? Now, it's important that you look at this video, guys, and you see some of these shots that are very, very important for you to practice. Okay? So we're just gonna settle down here, go through a shot routine, look at the 10 ball. And we're just gonna come a bit short here from this diamond, come into the line of the 15. Okay? Settling down. Alright, just want to make sure that you're steady, guys. Just playing this with a bit of stun. Just want to just get comfortable. Okay? It's all about practicing, guys. Correct speed, bit of stun. Nice shot. Bump out the rail a little bit, that would be nice. So we're kind of straight in on the 15. I have a slight angle, so I'm going to have to put some force, but I don't want to put too much force. It would have been nice to come a bit short and have this angle to go 2 rails. Or come a bit long to have this angle to go 1 rail and that way. But this is what the table has given us, so we're going to work with it. I'm just going to hot spin here, and perhaps just settling for what we get on the 8. Punching that shot there, coming around nicely for a shot on the 8. And pretty much, guys, even though you're on the winning ball and you feel really good, you still want to go through the whole entire shot routine here. And now you're going to be on the 8 to settle down to take this rack. And we are out. Alright, guys. Took me a couple of attempts, especially on the 10 ball, as you can see. The whole idea is I would have loved to go through the whole entire rack with you, mistakes free, but of course, you see that it's the idea behind running the rack is what I want you to understand. So even though it was a pretty simple layout, we learned some stuff about controlling the cue ball, using a little bit of side spin to get you into position, and just kind of assessing the table as you go along. So hopefully you guys learned something from that rack. We are now going to be looking at the other scenario. As I mentioned to you before, this is 2 scenarios in 8-ball rack that we're talking about. So let's go at it now in the next scenario. Alright, guys, so we have another situation here on the table with us, and again this is another 8-ball situation, right? We are on stripes, and so we're looking at the situation here at both options, which is both offense and of course also defense. Alright, there are 2 opportunities available here. Of course you can pause the video at this point to try to figure out what the options are, but of course you can just continue watching the video to see what I came up with. Alright, so let's talk about the offensive option, which is of course the toughest option to execute, and we're going to try to do it in as less tries as possible. I can't guarantee you that it's going to be in one attempt, but we're going to try to see how best we can do what we say we're going to do. So for the offensive option here, let's first look at the layout. We are on strikes 9, 11, and 10. Alright, we're in a critical position on the 10 here. The 10 only has one pocket, which is over here. So which means that we're going to have to fall anywhere into this zone right here in order to have a chance at pocketing the 10. Alright, we have that very tough 11 ball on the side here, which is obviously the ball that is going to be used as the key ball to get in on the 10. We have this 9 ball here that has no pocket, but there is a standard bank that is available for the shot. Now the key on the shot here is to pocket the 9 on a bank shot and try to hold position in this area here with the cue ball. We don't want too much angle because that's going to force us to have to get under this 1. So we want to try to keep as straight as possible, right? So we can just slide below the 1 for the 10 to come in here, and then slide up for the 8. That is for the attacking option. So it's going to be very critical to how we bank this ball. Alright, so let's see how best we can go about doing this. Then we're going to be looking at the defensive option. So as I'm looking at this shot here, it seems as if the 5 ball is, as you can see on the picture, right above you there. The 5 ball is like a diamond out, the cue ball is in the center of the table here. So make sure that it's in the center, that's correct. And we have a standard bank. Now according to my banking technique, it seems as if I would be perhaps on diamond, say, this is diamond 50 to 25. So I should be around diamond, let's say 52 to 26, that looks to be right. Just gonna set it up here, diamond 52 to 26. Remember, you want to try to keep the cue ball as close to the rail as possible. So let's see how we can go about doing this. Alright, so I'd like to bank this ball with a bit of stump follow, right, with a fast speed. You can try to bank it and roll it. Okay, bank it and roll it, but the roll might give you too much to come off the rail. So let's see how best we can do this here. Alright, So we're on the bank, it looks pretty standard. Bit of stun follow here, slight overcut. So there you can see our first mistake there with that stun follow. We didn't get as much stun as we would like, we got more weight, so now we are behind the 5. And this really brings me to the point where, as I said, or as I'm saying now, the attacking option is very, very difficult, right? We have to get that area here on the 11. So we're going to try this another way. Alright, we're going to get back that 9 into that area. Okay? And this is all a learning process, guys. It's not all about, say, perhaps running the rack. It's just assessing what can be done on this rack here. So in the center of the table. Alright, so the last time we bumped up the wheel and come behind the 5, let's try to play it a little bit slower here. Not sure if it's going to hold. Maybe get into that.
Not sure if it's going to hold. Maybe get into that.
Okay, we're pretty close. My table is a bit dead. But you can see where the 11, where the cue ball is left for the 11, that's not a bad area. So we just need to play with a bit more speed and we should be okay for this shot. So let's try again, alright? And see how best we can try to get this rack up, alright? So here we go. Last time we made the bank, got behind the 5. We made the bank again, but this time we slowed up on us. So let's see how best we can get this ball deposited into this pocket. Alright. So we got a better shot on the 11 after making the bank on the 9. So it's all about execution now, guys, alright? We have a better angle on that 11 now. We should be able to do something with the 11 and drop onto that 10. So line for a shot, go through our entire shot routine, guys, okay? And now we can just maybe use a little bit of top, a little bit of side, maybe about 10 o'clock spin, there or about somewhere there. Nicely on the 10. Let's wrap it up now. So we are nicely on the 8. Alright guys, so that is pretty much how you run the 8-ball rack in that particular order. Alright, it was a tough run out, just going for that bank shot was a bit tough. But we were out if you decided to go offense. Alright? So that is the offensive shot of scenario number 2. Let's see what we can do now for the defensive shot for this scenario. Alright guys, so we're at scenario number 2 now, and we're just going to be looking at the defensive option here. Place that ball from the original position here. Right? And so this is an advanced safety. I have to give thanks to a compatriot of mine, Carl Melvin. He actually highlighted this to me. I actually did not see it, but he highlighted it to me and he said to me, how about pocketing the 9, using the 9 to pocket the 2, bringing the cue ball 1, 2 rails, and using the 10 with the correct speed, just to leave your opponent top. Alright, because this position here, as you can see, is not the most ideal position. But it's a really tough safety and it's actually an advanced safety. But what I want to also add to this safety is just call the 9 just in case, or should we? I am not convinced that I should call the 9. I was thinking about it. Because during my practice sessions, I saw that the 9 went down with the 2. But I think that we should go all out for the defense by using the 9 to pocket the 2, bringing the cue ball 1, 2 rails down here with the correct speed. So you're definitely going to just kind of need, your focus should be on the cue ball coming down here and not so much because the 2 ball is kind of dead in the pocket. So once the 9 hits it, it should just leave it positive. So the focus should be controlling the speed of the cue ball to leave it down here on the rail. So let's see if we can execute the shot. Alright, so here we go. Low right spin. Focusing on pocketing the 2. The correct speed. So that's kind of a little bit of setup because now my opponent has a shot on the 3 and should be able to go out. So it's risky, but it's still doable. Let's try it one more time. Alright, so I'm going to place the 2 ball back here. Okay? Just need to control the speed. Place the 9 ball here. Get the cue ball back in the center of the table. It's a tough shot, but if we have the right speed, we can hook our opponent down here and leave our opponent on top. Alright, here we go. Alright. Right speed. Again, very risky. In this case now, well, it is still a wrap from our opponent, so it is pretty tough. Right? But you can see the intent of the shot, guys. It's not so much about getting it perfect. It's really about having an understanding and, of course, putting the time on the table to actually experiment on this scenario. So hopefully the third time is a charm. Let's see if we can get this speed done. We have the direction correct, but we just need to get the speed done. Alright? So last attempt, guys. Let's see if we can get good on this safety. Okay, that played a little bit slow, but the good news here is that our opponent doesn't have a shot on the 3. He has a bank on the 1, but again, it's not guaranteed because of the top position on the 3. He has a long 5, so depending on the skill level of your opponent, you may or may be able to come back till. But hopefully, at least the idea behind how you can play defense or how you can play offense on this situation was helpful for you. Alright guys, so we're going to call this video to the end. Do hope you enjoyed the content that I've been putting out there. It's been hard work, I've been putting in the work, and as I said, I'm not a professional, but I'm aiming to get there. Alright, so do hope you enjoyed the content. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, share this out to your comments. Do take care. Until next time, it's NECCESARY signing out. Bye bye.